Hey guys, it's Miss Harr. I wanted to make a video to show you how to add fractions with unlike denominators. That way, if you are picking everything up pretty quickly, you can move on by watching this. We are going to add two different equations. The first one is going to be 1/2 plus 1/3. For those of you who aren't fond of showing your work, please make sure you go ahead and write out the whole equation so I can see exactly how you're solving it and so it's easier for you to keep track of. So I have written here, step 1, we have to find the least common denominator. Our denominators for these two fractions are 2 and 3. Obviously, they're not the same, so we have to find the least common denominator, the denominator that'll make them the same, and then create two equivalent fractions. But let's just focus on finding the least common denominator first. So to find that, we have to find the multiples for each of these numbers. You can do that pretty easily. Finding the least common denominator for 2 would require you to count by 2's. So you would start off with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, we'll go up to 12. Okay, then you do it for 3, and you just count by 3's. 3, 6, 9, 12. We're going to stop at 12 again. So remember, we're looking for the smallest number, the least common denominator. So you will go ahead and circle everything that they have in common. They both have 6's. They also both have 12's. The one that is the least from the two of those is 6, so I know that 6 will be my least common denominator. 6. All right, now comes step 2. All right, step 2, equivalent fractions. So now we have to change 1/2 into a fraction that has a denominator with 6. Our least common denominator is 6. We also have to change 1/3 into a fraction where the denominator is 6. They will be equivalent fractions that we're making. It'll just make it easier for us to add. So we're going to take 1/2 and we're going to make an equivalent fraction. We want our equivalent fraction to have a denominator of 6. You have to think to yourself, 2 times what number would equal 6? I know that 2 times 2 would be 4. 2 times 2, or 2 times 3 would be 6. So 2 times 3 would be 6. So we're going to multiply the top by the same number as the bottom, 1 times 3, to get 3 6. We're going to do the same for 1/3. I know that 3 times 2 will equal 6. I'm going to do the same to the top of my fraction. 1 times 2 equals 2. Now comes step 3. All right, step 3, rewrite and solve. So we have to rewrite our equation. We can't use our old numbers, 1/2 plus 1/3. We can't add two fractions that have unlike denominators. It doesn't work. That's why we're having to change the fractions to equivalent fractions. We're going to rewrite our problem to have these equivalent fractions that we just made. So instead of writing 1/2, I'm going to write 3 6. Instead of writing 1/3, I'm going to write 2 6. Now I can solve. Once our denominator is the same, it stays the same. So you're going to go ahead and write your denominator for your answer, which will be 6. For the numerators, we add them together just like you would add normal numbers. 3 plus 2 equals 5.